Let's do an overview of the book of Genesis with me, author Diaz Fischella. Genesis is the very first book of the Bible. Its name means beginnings, and that's exactly what it's about. The beginning of the universe, the beginning of life, sin, and God's plan to save us. God created the world in 6 literal 24-hour days about 6,000 years ago, and everything he made was very good. The Hebrew word for day in Genesis is yom, the same word used throughout the Old Testament to describe an ordinary, full day. Each day of creation ends with the phrase, "and there was evening and there was morning," showing a clear pattern of one normal day with a night and a morning. In Hebrew thinking, a new day began at sundown, evening first, then morning, reminding us that God brings rest before work. The Garden of Eden was a paradise with no death, no pain, and no suffering. But when Adam and Eve disobeyed God, sin entered into the world. We choose our sin, but we don't get to choose its consequences. And the sin of our ancestors, it affected the whole world. Their choice changed everything. People began to die. The ground became hard to work, and creation was no longer perfect. Before the flood, people lived for hundreds of years, sometimes close to 1,000. The world became so wicked, though, that God judged it with a global flood, saving only Noah, his family, and the animals on the ark. After the flood, lifespans became shorter, and the whole earth looked very different. Later, at the Tower of Babel, God scattered the nations by giving them different languages. Anyone could look at the story and feel hopeless. But God, the great author of life, was weaving a story so intricate and beautiful that it would change the world for all time. Genesis also introduces us to the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. God called Abraham and promised to make him a great nation and a blessing to the whole world. Through Abraham's family, God promised to send a Savior, the Messiah, who would come to rescue us from our sin. So, why does Genesis matter? Well, it tells us where we came from. God created us. It explains why the world is broken, because sin entered through Adam and Eve. And it shows us God's faithfulness. Even when people fail, He keeps His promises. It points us to Jesus, the Savior that was promised from the beginning. For more Bible study tools, make sure you check out the Bible Reading Journal and Tracker available on Amazon.